All right, what it is, good people, you know who it is. I am Mr. Darkeye. This is the Mr. Darkeye podcast right here on Anchor FM, New Soul Music Radio, the home of motivation to trust God and live your dreams. Big shout out to my sponsor, the Super Icy Brothers Premium Frozen Dessert Shop, located in Rock Hill, South Carolina, and Pineville, North Carolina. Please visit their website at supericybrothers.com. I got in the building today two of my favorite young professionals. Got Cameryn and Tadean in the building. What's up?
What up, what up?
Hey, y'all.
Thank you for having us.
Man, thank y'all for coming through, man. I know y'all be out here getting it in, be busy, coming from meetings and conducting meetings and all that. But I had to bring you in and have a conversation, man, because I see y'all out here moving and doing great things. So I wanted just to, well, first off, before I get into all of that, I want y'all to give a rundown to the people. Again, you can reintroduce yourselves and tell them what you got going on and what you do.
Right.
Whoever want to go first.
All right. Hello, everyone. My name is Cameron Mitchell. I am the founder and CEO of Hustle Career Consulting. We are a talent development agency. We primarily focus on coaching, consulting, content, and events for careers and the future of work. If you don't know what that is, essentially, it's how the world is changing, how careers are changing. I essentially empower you to take on this new world of work and thrive in your life. So super happy to be here. And yeah, I'm passing off to Tadean.
Good stuff. I love Cameron. I mean, even I should just put that all together. But as stated, my name is Tadean or Tay or T. I'm cool with all of that. And I am the owner of Ascend Solutions. I love to start by telling people we are a project management firm that specializes in providing hope and solutions. So that shows up in different ways, but primarily what we do is specialize in community engagement initiatives, social impact, and help businesses, small businesses, nonprofits, organizations think about how do they connect with people to not only further their brand, but their mission as well. So that shows up in different ways based on the client, but at the end of the day, we're focused on creating more common good and changing the world we live in.
That's what's up. That's what's up. So for both of you, when did you decide to want to become entrepreneurs and why?
So I've always had a desire to be an entrepreneur. I think I was born into it without a choice, honestly.
Okay.
So my parents are entrepreneurs, my grandparents are entrepreneurs. So that's the world that I knew growing up. So inevitably, I knew that would be the track that I would take. Even if I decided to go a 9-to-5 route, I never imagined that being my only thing.
Okay.
So entrepreneurship is my life. It's my world. It's how I was raised. And it's what I would do for the rest of my life as well.
Okay. What about you?
My story is not the same. I didn't think I would become an entrepreneur. I, went to college, got my degree in business and human resources. I really thought I was going to go into, which I still work in human resources in the 9-to-5 capacity. But I never saw myself as owning a business. However, that changed once I graduated college. My friends were asking me, how did you get these internships while you were in school? So I worked with the federal government. I worked with some pretty large organizations, and people just kept asking me for advice and different resources. And I was like, wait, this is consulting. This is coaching. This is what people do. As a business. And so essentially for me, I really love solving problems. I really like building things. If you ask anybody I work with, I'm a super process, systems, details person. And so because I had worked in businesses before outside of mine, I was like, can I build this for myself? And can I build this in a better way than what we're doing currently? So that was really my motivation, is how can I build a business that people want to work for? And how can I teach people to work for the businesses that exist today?
Right. So yeah, okay, so that's your lane. Teaching people from that perspective. Are you only working with young people? Yeah. From your perspective, is that what you're doing right now?
Yeah, so I'll say my agency definitely started out just with working with recent graduates, early talent, young professionals. But now the world has changed so much that everybody needs to know how to navigate this new workforce that we're in. And everybody needs to navigate, now that they've found their true passions, how do you make money from that, whether that be in the 9-to-5 sense or the business sense? So not only do I work with individuals, entrepreneurs, professionals, creatives, we also work with businesses to help them find the talent that they need. So, a lot of businesses are struggling to hire right now because they're not engaging with talent in the way that talent wants to be engaged with.
Mhm.
So, whether that's through social media strategy or just helping with their onboarding practices and hiring practices, there's an opportunity to touch not only the individual, but the business they're going to be working with as well.
Okay. Now, Tadean, with your company, what are some things that y'all what that you're recently working on right now?
Yeah, man. So for each client, it's a bit different. So as I stated, I work with everything from nonprofits to small businesses to organizations to individual and personal brands as well. So every client has a different goal, right, that they're trying to reach. So
Mhm.
depending on the client, I focus with the end in mind. So much like Cameron said, my business is focused on solving problems and creating value.
Mhm.
So for one client, that could mean, for example, one of my clients is Pathways Community Center, which serves the homelessness population within York County. So everything that I do is with the end goal of being able to provide more resources to people in need,
Mhm.
being able to bring in more money in terms of donations, right? So
Mhm.
they can do better work in the community.
Mhm.
And then number three, continue to gain more awareness and then volunteers as well. So the work for that on a daily basis looks different every single day. But that's everything from creating exhibits and moments publicly that people can attend to
Mhm.
managing their social media, to managing their marketing and promotional material and their community engagement strategy as a whole.
Mhm.
Another end of that could be working with the clients such as Don Johnson State Farm, helping to
Right.
bring in new business, right? So that's making sure we're relevant on social media. That's making sure
Mhm.
people understand the importance of insurance, right? Being seen in the community. So each and every client is a bit different. Just kind of give scope of mine. Right now, I have 5 retained clients that I work with monthly, and
Mhm.
then everybody else is a project basis. So between all of that, that question is hard to answer because there's at least 10 things going on per client.
Okay.
But at the end of the day, again, regardless of what those things are individually, it's all at the greater end or result of how do I get more awareness and exposure for my client, and
Mhm.
how do I help them do more good in the community.
Okay. Now, since y'all started this journey as entrepreneurs, what's been some of your biggest challenges and how did you overcome? Yeah, like I ain't got no challenges. I'm good. I've been getting it.
But I think the
Nah.
challenge can be getting it,
Yeah, I
right?
got you.
So, and I say that with gratitude
Yeah.
because I know there's a whole other end of that spectrum for some people in their business.
Mm-hmm.
But I've always focused on, and Cameron and I talk a lot about this, but how am I building value for people?
Mm-hmm.
How am I delivering my results so well that it's not a question if I deserve this contract or not?
Mm-hmm.
So, with that mindset, people like to see results.
Mm-hmm.
Other people see those results too, and they
Mm-hmm.
want those services as well.
Mm-hmm.
So I would say a challenge from a positive connotation has just been how I'm making sure I'm not going beyond my capacity.
Mm-hmm.
So my problem has been, and again, I try to use problem loosely, but
Right.
something I had to be cognizant of is how am I making sure I'm not taking on too much so that I can make sure I'm delivering at the level of excellence that I want for each and every single one of my projects and my clients.
Mm-hmm.
So it has been about me learning to, okay, Tadean, you can't do it all alone. We have to pay
Right.
somebody to come in and help now,
Exactly.
right?
Yeah.
And again, that's a good problem to have,
Absolutely.
but it's giving up a little bit of your money, right? A little bit of your time to train someone, but it's helping you
Mm-hmm.
build capacity. So I think I'm in a transitional place right now in year 3 of my company where it's about how do I create something that I can then scale up
Right.
and do beyond just myself.
Right.
So I would say that's kind of my current piece right now. So I don't know if I want to term that a problem. So I'll just say a good problem that I'm dealing
Yeah.
with right now.
Good problem to have.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
I think my challenges echo Tadian's, but just for any other entrepreneurs out there, I think what we're getting at is, understand the core of what your business is. Don't allow yourself to go outside of what you know you want to do and how you can scale your business just because you want to get that quick dollar.
Yeah.
Sometimes your greatest output and the thing that actually matters most to your business is not the financials that you're bringing in.
Mhm.
Sometimes it's the clients that you're bringing on and the impact that that can have on your business and the impact for that to scale. So, if you are a business owner, just think about what is my ideal client, but then also what is that client that, yes, I could take on, but it's not for me right now. So
Yeah.
just being able to understand that process and being true to who you are, but also taking it a step further and having other outlets where you can say, if I can't take on this client, let me make sure my network is built up enough that I can refer this out to somebody. Because even though I can't work for them right now, I do want to be a resource. And I also want to give some business to somebody else. So I think the twofold of that is just, understand who you are, find what your ideal client is, what your ideal situation is, but then also make sure you have the network if you can't take on some things.
Yeah, I'm gonna add something to that too. She triggered something. I think another problem that I'm facing at this moment, like present day, whatever today's date is,
May 14th,
is charging my new worth. Right?
Yeah,
and it comes
that
at
part.
different phases and seasons and costs. So there was one time when I first started my company, I remember it was X dollars what I was charging. And I remember going to clients and being like, well, you think we can make this work? You think this is doable? And they'd be like, yeah, we can make that work. I knew it was less than what I probably deserved, but I just wanted to get that yes. Right. So I'm in another phase of my company now where I know my value, where I'm currently at, but it's still that same fear, just at another level of, what do you think we can make this number work? And there's as I'm thinking about that, it's a new confidence that I have that I did not have before. But it's still work to challenge yourself, to push yourself. Right. So I would say a present day challenge. I was thinking about this yesterday. I have my new number in my head that I need to charge out my clients. And I'm going back and forth mentally like, well, do you think that you need to come down, But you have to work through that. So I would say an internal challenge that I'm experiencing right now within my company is understanding, accepting, and affirming my new value and my new level of my worth.
Absolutely. I struggle with that myself, man. As we was talking in the lobby, you know what I'm saying, that, you want to, you got this heart to serve and give and, but at the same time, knowing that you are a business and you got to make money, and it's like, I think it's a huge challenge for a lot of people in that space. But I feel like once you start looking at your numbers and you looking at that bottom line and you seeing what it is and you like, you know what?
Yeah. And you're seeing what it could be.
Yeah. Yeah.
Not just what it is, but what it could be.
Right. That's facts.
And when you know your business is built on something good and you're trying to help other business owners or help other people, you need to make more money so you can make more impact. And sometimes that's the message we have to tell ourselves, because it does get hard sometimes to be like, I'm making a lot right now.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
But
And plus, when people see your value, one thing I've learned, because I've had people, their reaction to me when I tell them what I charge for something, and when they respond be, that's it.
Too low.
That's what I'm saying. Like, they be like, that's it. I thought you was going to tell me XYZ. And I be thinking to myself, you know what?
I got to fix that.
Yeah, I got to fix that.
Yeah, man.
Because they see it. They when they see how I'm moving and what I got going on, I mean, they thinking that when I start telling them prices, it's going to be thousands of dollars or whatever. You know what I mean? So I'm like, if they see it, I got to see it. And operate in that way. But yeah, I think that's a challenge for a lot of us in this space. Definitely. Have y'all ever felt like you just wanted to you know what, I don't want to do this anymore? You ever felt like that? It's too much. You never felt that way? What about you, Cam? Huh?
I wouldn't say I felt that way. I like to have options.
Okay.
So I'm like, because I do work in the 9-to-5 space, I know that allows me to pour back into my business. So I think if anything, it's more so been, at what point do I want to become a full-time entrepreneur? Is that something I want to do? But as far as entrepreneurship itself, no, because I know, like I said, I want to build something that people want to work for. And I can't do that if I stop.
If you stop. So you say you never felt that way, though, Tadean?
Never.
Yeah.
And then I hope I never will.
Yeah.
Because I think the moment I feel that way, I'm in the wrong lane.
Right.
Like,
right.
I have never wanted to not do what I do. Are there components of it that I don't
Mhm.
like?
Mhm.
Sure.
course.
Yeah.
But that's with anything. You know what I
Yep.
mean? There's
Right.
components I wish I did not have to do,
Mhm.
but that just comes with scalability, and now I can pay somebody to handle that part for me.
Mhm. Yeah, that's true.
Right, I may not be there today, but that also doesn't mean I want to quit. So one of the things I'm always evaluating is this feeding me in the areas that it needs to fill me?
Mhm.
And one of my greatest areas of fulfillment is in my creating impact for others.
Mhm.
And I don't do anything that does not allow me to do that. So long as I'm in a space where I'm creating impact, and there's also some return on investment to the company,
Mhm.
I've never not wanted to do that.
Mhm.
And I hope I never do. But if I ever do feel that, I know I'm kind of going somewhere down the wrong lane that I probably need to kind of veer back to another direction.
Absolutely. I agree. I agree. I've been in that space too, Um I think it also, it just comes down to you. It's really just knowing what really gets you going, what you love, and you just connect with that. And I think for a lot of people, they go into a space of doing things because they think it's going to lead to a bunch of money. It's just that's the motivation.
Yeah.
It's the money.
Yeah.
But I've learned that money. Money has never been the motivation for me because I've always just loved to create. That's what got me into music.
Yeah.
And then once I kind of got this, taste of being an entrepreneur, really by accident. You know what I mean? Just really just doing what I love, and then eventually people contacting me and asking me, "Hey, I see you got such and such going on. How much would you charge me to do that for me?" And that's kind of how it started. But just that love to create, that's what drives me. It ain't never been about nothing else.
Right. And I think sometimes we can put ourselves, because I want to get real, right? Like I like to have real conversations.
Yeah,
So I'm
absolutely.
thinking about people who are listening to this. I think sometimes we can create a scenario that makes it hard,
Mm-hmm.
that sometimes makes us want to quit. But I try to eliminate what those things may be. So you
Right.
brought up money.
Mm-hmm.
Money is not the driving factor, but money can influence your decisions.
Right.
Right. So when I think about the first year of my company, I made $11,000.
Okay. 18 for me.
$81 for me.
First year.
81?
First year.
Okay.
$81.
Right. Now, let's give context to that.
Yeah.
That was okay. Because I
Yeah.
also had me a 9 to 5 alongside it.
Yeah.
But had I been trying to live off of that by
Mm-hmm.
itself,
Right.
that does start to make you think, should I be doing something else? Am I in the wrong lane?
Right.
Right.
So I always challenge people to think on your journey to that, how do you create the most comfortable position for yourself at the same
Absolutely.
time? That doesn't mean comfort from a lens of it's all easy flow and cruise control. That is not what I'm saying. But how do you not stress yourself out at the same time for the things that you can control?
Mm-hmm.
Right. So I talk to a lot of people who are like, I want to start my own business, That's great. But does that mean you have to quit your job fully today?
Right.
Or
Absolutely.
do you challenge yourself to say, okay, I'm at this job 40 hours a
Absolutely.
week. I'm only going to do it 20 hours a week. So I know I need to make that extra money. So it's going to challenge me to go harder in my company, but I still can pay my rent.
Right.
So that you don't lose the ability to just want to create at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
So again, I think there's two layers of that conversation. I'm not
Yeah.
saying do not challenge yourself, but also how do you think about eliminating unnecessary stress in the areas that you can?
Mm-hmm.
And I think me being intentional about that thought process has helped me never to veer to the side, more of to your question of wanting to quit.
Yeah.
And I think because I coach people on that all the time. I'm like, you can't get to where you're going because you're trying to survive right now. Your
Mm-hmm.
most basic needs are not being taken care of as a human.
Mm-hmm.
So how would you even allow yourself? You don't even know the capabilities of what you can accomplish because you're not at your full self right now.
Right.
And like Tadean said, if that 40 hour job, 48
Hour
a week.
a week
Yeah.
job is supporting your business, if you're actively saving or using that check to do your photo shoot or to get your brand together or to get your website done,
That's okay.
that job is kind of an investor for you right now.
Right.
You need
Right.
to look at it in that mindset. You don't need to look at it as this thing that's hindering me. Now, what I try to teach my clients is that do something that puts you in the same space as your business, right? So for me, for example, I'm in talent development, I'm in coaching, careers. I also work in workforce and talent development for my 9 to 5. So
Gotcha.
as I'm meeting people in my job, as I'm getting professional development paid for by my employer, they can never take my skill set away. So
Right.
I pour all of that knowledge right back into my business. I pour those connections back into my business when appropriate, of course. There obviously has to be a line there, but
when appropriate,
you
it's still real.
but you need to think about those things. Your career can actually do a lot for you. And if you talk to some high wealth people, they'll tell you they got their best connections and their first funding in their business from their 9 to 5 job. So don't let that be an underutilized thought for you.
Yeah.
Right. I agree. And there's a lot of people that struggle with that, because I got one of my clients who just started a job a few months ago, and he's a songwriter. And before his job, he was able to, write songs all day, every day. And he was sending me demo tracks and stuff like that of stuff he's done. I mean, he was able to put in a lot of work. And then when his job started, it just kind of put a stop to that for the most part.
Right.
And last meetings that we had, he's expressed his frustrations with that, not being able to create as much as he wants to.
Right.
And I told him, I'm like, you just have to adjust, around your work schedule, but don't let it frustrate you to the point where you're not able to create, because it happens. You just got to have that balance. And I think a lot of people out there need to know that if you can, you give your job 8 hours and you're not able to, put in the time after the fact towards what you love, it's more so about, are you still motivated and inspired to, you know what I'm saying? Because if you are, then you're going to find that time, So I think that's really key with that.
I told one of my clients was in the music industry.
Yeah.
And I'm like, Spotify has remote jobs open right now. You might not be creating music, but you'll learn about the business of music. And maybe that's something you can make a business out of. Like, there's so many things that go into the entertainment industry. You might not be the artist, but you could be supporting the artist in multiple ways. Managing their social media, doing the copywriting on their website, doing the photography for them.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot that you can do.
There's a lot that you can do, but sometimes it takes being in that business and working for somebody else where you got a constant paycheck for you to see the possibilities of your industry. So I think that's another thing too. You also got to know what industry you're in, what lane you're in, so you can start to look for those articles, start to look for those resources, start to make those connections.
Absolutely, because there's a lot that can be done on so many different layers, like I know for me, I started out just wanting to be a recording artist, but it grew into so many other things, you know what I mean? It's like I'm still using my voice, you know what I'm saying? In this media space as a consultant, but it's just turned into all of these other great opportunities, and I'm still able to be creative, but I also tell people all the time that it doesn't matter what you're doing, it's really about you building a brand, that brand awareness, and all of that. So with you all with your brands, are you finding it difficult for people to really understand your brands when you're talking to people? Because I know sometimes people, they don't get it. You know what I mean?
That's a good question. I would say I think I'm doing a better job at owning my narrative.
Okay.
And I say that because my company is very niche focused, right? And I take that from a couple different angles. A lot of people can see what I do and simply term it as a marketing firm. We are not a marketing firm. We are a community engagement firm who utilizes marketing skill sets to further the reach and engagement for our clients, right? So is marketing a part of what we do? Absolutely.
Okay.
But we are not defined by the scope of a marketing agency. So when I think about that, I always have to put the shoe back on my foot and say, how am I controlling that narrative then? I need to show the work in which we're doing. So in terms of my brand, what does that look like? I've been more intentional around letting people into our world and seeing the type of projects that we do. Right. So now I'm seeing a change in how people are perceiving what my company is, but that had to start with me owning the narrative. I think a lot of us, we do the work, we're so into the work, that oftentimes the last thing you have time to do is actually share what you're doing at the end of the day. And I've had to do a better job of that, get more intentional. After every event with the client, how am I promoting that on social media? How am I stating what the role of my company was within that work? Right. So I've been getting better at telling my brand. And then in terms of assessing that or evaluating that, one of the things I started doing every year at the end of the year is asking people, when you think about my brand as an individual and as a company, what is it that you think we do? And I ask that question at the end of every year. And I try to compare and overlay what I think we're doing or what it is that we do versus what people's perception is, and how do I make those two line up even better. So that's something that I'm constantly doing. It's almost like an annual review that I'm putting myself through. So to your question and point, I think by the day, people are getting clearer on what it is that we do, only because I'm doing a better job of stating that more clearly.
Okay. All right. What about you, Cameron? You have any difficulties for people understanding your brand?
I don't think I have difficulties with people understanding my brand. I think I just need to be more vocal about what my brand is.
Okay.
I think, when I'm really into it, of course, like I can share what I do, share the accolades that I have, the things I'm working on. I think for me, like a lot of people, is consistency of things because, life gets in the way and things like that. So I think the challenge for me is more so because I am a systems and process person, like creating those systems that actually help me to share my brand and become intentional about sharing that has been my struggle. But absolutely love sharing what I do. I'm very big on social media. Y'all can follow me at Cam D Coach.
Yeah.
I love sharing like articles I'm in, things my friends are doing. I actually just did a reel for Tadean's company and the interactive art museum that they just put together. So it's, for me, social media is probably the most powerful tool that we have. You can connect with people that are not in your area, but have a similar interest to you and things like that. So I think personal branding is super important. My company actually has an event coming up. So we partnered with a marketing firm, Pop Marketing, and we're going to be doing an in-person event in Charlotte, bringing together a lot of people who are just using their personal brands to maximize not only their personal success, but their business success as well. So we're bringing together 5, I don't want to call them influencers, but just people that have good personal brands and can share some strategies about what digital tools they're using, what features on Instagram they're using, and just what their thought process is as they're creating content and as they're sharing what they do. So, yeah, personal branding is huge right now. And I'm excited for that event.
Absolutely. So, so real quick, we're getting down to the last minute and a half. So, we want to make sure people can contact you all. So give your contact information. y'all be like, who?
So again, my name is Tadean Page, T as in toy, A as in alpha, Dean, Tadean Page, or Tay or T. In terms of social media, much like Cameron, I love to utilize social media to connect with people. So I encourage people to check me out there. On Instagram, my personal page is Tadean P _. So T as in toy again, ADEAN P _. Jesus, what else? Facebook, same thing. My website is tadeanpage.com. My email is tadeanpage at gmail.com. And then, as you go to my personal page, from there, it links you to everything that I'm involved in. So the Hope Collective Movement, which is another company of mine or brand of mine, Cleaning Company is there as well. Ascend is there as well. So from Tadean P, you can find everything else that you need about me.
Yeah, and my social, so I'm most active on Instagram at Cam the Coach, CAMTHEE Coach, and then my business Instagram is Hustle Career Co. So that's where I share all of client work, tips for creating your own career. And then if you go to our website, hustlecareercode.com, that's where you can find all of our client services like resume rebranding, LinkedIn, and then also our consulting services. So, yeah, look forward to connecting with you all.
All right, that's what's up. That's what's up. So, all right, so that's what it is. So, man, I really do appreciate y'all coming through, chopping it over with me.
Yes, sir.
You know
Proud
what
of
I mean?
Man, everything you got going on. We just happy
I'm honored to be on the platform.
Okay.
Hey, man, it's exciting to be in this space, man. This is a space I never knew that I would even be in, but here we are. And I enjoy it. I enjoy every bit of it. You know, I love being able to, you know, have these great conversations with, you know, with my community, and just, you know, so you all can share what you got going on, and we could talk about everything that we're doing, and hopefully, you know, it's going to be motivation. This whole show is about motivation to trust God and live your dreams. And I know how difficult it can be, but at the same time, though, when people can hear when we are doing what we're doing and we're trusting God to live our dreams and getting through all the challenges and all of the things that we go through, you know, it's hopefully it would be something that's, you know, encouraging and motivating to everybody. Because when you hear when others are doing things, you know, you kind of get that, you know, that confidence for yourself that if it's happening for them, it can happen for me. You know, so that's what it is. So make sure y'all get in contact with them if you want to know more about Tadean and Cameryn and their businesses and how they can assist you with whatever you want to do. Because I feel like from their perspective, as you heard on the show today, that they are well skilled in many areas. So that's what it is, people. Thank y'all for tuning in. This has been the Mista Darkeye podcast. I am Mista Darkeye right here on Anchor FM. New Soul Music Radio, the home of motivation to trust God and live your dreams. We will catch y'all next time. We are out.